Yo, what's up guys, welcome back to Emulsion Videos. In today's video I'm back with another monster review. We have the Mythic Influxer. This Mythic, you can obtain it right now from the Grandmasters by obtaining its cells, by winning battles of course. But this right here was exclusively given to me by Social Point. I will be reviewing this monster throughout this video up to rank 5, level 150, so you'll see his best form. So huge thanks to Social Point for giving me the resources that's needed and everything like that. So it is sponsored by Social Point, guys. Anyways, now before we get started guys, it would be appreciated if you guys could drop a like and also subscribe to the channel with notifications on. But anyways, we have the Influxer here. We're gonna go ahead and speed this up. So this is what he looks like. We get 3 rune slots open. That's awesome. I don't have to spend extra gems because right now my gems is going down because of the race. I'm just helping out the team and stuff. My race is going, or my gems, they're just going down. Anyways, that right there is what the ultimate looks like. So it's like a Thunder Strike or something, as you could call it. This is 816 Influxer. Thunder Cannonade, that is the ultimate name. Deals moderate thunder damage to all enemies, applies shock and mega stun to all enemies. So mega stun, that basically just means that the enemy will lose 2 turns, and then shock 3 turns. That prevents extra turners from using their extra turns, if that makes sense. So it'll just block it, and also it'll deal some low thunder damage each turn until it runs out. Anyways, so at rank 0, so right away you have immune to control. This is actually pretty good. This is one of the best traits to have, because the enemy won't be able to stun you, freeze you, corrupt you, whatever. You just name it. Rank 1, you have immune to daze. This also comes in handy in some cases, so it's not that bad. And then rank 3, you have Status Caster Taunt, apparently. So that's interesting. You'll have Taunt. So this monster will receive all the single attacks. It'll just go directly at him. That's cool. Alright, so I'm gonna get him to level 100 in just a second. There we go. We got it to level 100. Here are the stats. So you get about 6,248 speed. That speed is actually pretty average comparing it to the other corrupted mythic monsters. 94,099 life. That is insanely good life. Okay, I've got to say that life is pretty darn good, especially for a taunt monster like him. And then 8,096 strength. Could be better, but remember, you don't really have to worry about the strength because it's not really an attacker. His role, I doubt it's an attacker. So yeah, look at that. We have stun, we have shock. This is actually not a bad skill. So electrifying staff, basically what it does is it deals very heavy thunder damage to an enemy, and then you stun them and also shock them. So if they're not immune to stun, either like as a status caster or trait, that stun will land and then the enemy will lose a turn. So that's good. Let's see what else we have. Tactical Flashlight. Deals moderate thunder damage to all enemies, applies daze to all enemies. So it's an AoE daze. Okay, I'll take that. Actually, I like running that on my 3rd slot. Let's see what else we have. Lightning Rod. Removes all negative status effects from itself, applies Taunt. So it's a self-support skill. So if you're not going to get it to rank 3, you can go ahead and run this. Although, even without the Taunt, even if you get it to rank 3, if you want to run it just for that cleanse, so that you cleanse whatever that's on you, you can go ahead and run it. I guess we'll run it. Yeah, why not? Let's see what else we have though. Applies immune to control to all allies. Ooh, nice. Thunderbolt deals moderate thunder damage to one enemy, applies daze and shock to an enemy. Isn't that basically just this? Oh, never mind. Okay. Yeah, if you want to run this, the shock and daze, it's not a bad combo. Alright, when it comes down to rubber gloves, you don't want to really run it because you have an AoE one. You have the AoE version. You know what I mean? The only difference is that it's 1 turn cooldown higher and also 10 more stamina. Okay, but it's worth it. Voltage Tester, low thunder damage to all enemies, 0 cooldown and 30 stamina cost. And then you have another 0 cooldown with 25 stamina cost. It's a moderate thunder damage to one enemy, applies daze to one enemy. So it's an spammable skill, so if you want to run it, you can. One thing I've got to say is that he is fine against CDA monsters. I just noticed. He is fine against CDAs. I'm glad he's not an attacker, because if he was, then the problem would be that all of his skills are thunder, so against his own element he won't be able to deal that much damage. But other than that, here are the 4 best skills that I recommend running. Once again, if you don't want to run Lightning Rod, you can swap it with Thunderbolt, or for example the spamble skill, Electrician Punch. So yeah, but anyways, these are the 4 skills that I recommend running. Let's head over to relics. Ooh, you have a mask and body armor. Okay, so for mask, if you want, no, Watts' mask, don't run this. You do not want to run that because he has immune to control. That'd be probably the last option you'd run. You can go with Jazzy's masks, so after you hit them with like an AoE skill or something like that, you remove some stamina from them. You can go with it. You can also go with Talon's mask. That also works. So Talon's mask, Jazzastar's mask, and lastly, Eultron's mask. those 3 relics, you can go ahead and give any of them. I'm going to go with Eultron's Mask because what this does is that it gives you an armor. Not just that, but also it removes stamina after you damage them, the enemies, of course. So for relics, here's what I recommend running, guys. If you have Morg's armor, go ahead and give it. If you have Nibito's armor, go ahead and give it. So any of those 2 really works, but I'm gonna personally go with Morg's armor. So for the runes, guys, here's what I recommend running. You can go with 2 team speeds and 1 life. You can also go with maybe 2 life and 1 team speed. That also works. You can go with 3 team speeds. Me personally, here's what I went with. I went with 2 team speeds and 1 life. This monster is sort of a tank and also a supporter. So if you want to go with 3 team speeds, that works too, once again, guys. Or you can go with something like what I have here. So once you guys get this monster to rank 1, for obscure talents, here's what I recommend giving. So I'm going to start from best to, I guess, worst. So for your first option, you could go with Growing Flash. Since this monster is a tank, since it starts off with taunt at rank 3, you should have the Growing Flash. This would be a good option. Another option you can go with would be the Soul Drag, because it's a taunt. So after he dies, you know, he's supposed to absorb all the incoming damage. Not all of them, but like the single ones. So if he dies, he can just take someone down with him, depending on his rank, of course. So Soul Drag, you know, that's there. And then you can also go with Aura of Decay or Unholy Vigor. One of those 4, okay? So me personally, what I'm gonna go with is the Growing Flesh. You can go with Soul Drag once again if you have that, but if you don't, then you just don't. So I'm gonna go on and quickly get it to level 110, rank 1. There we go. Here are the stats at rank 1, guys. And then once you get it to level 130, rank 3, here are the stats. This is what you get, but with the runes combined, this is what you get in total. So I'm gonna go ahead and head over to multiplayer, and here's what I'm gonna do. So if you're gonna run up a team, here's what I recommend giving, guys. Here's what I recommend running, okay? You can go ahead and run Influxer, of course, with Wingsu. Okay, Wingsu is gonna be a great buddy with this guy. Trust me, it is going to be one of his best buddies. So if you have a Wingsu, if you own it, if you pick that up from the breeding event, go on and run it, because this monster has taunt, and then Wingsu has dodge area at rank 3, so it's gonna be a good combo. And then lastly, what I'm gonna go with, it doesn't really matter who I go with. Maybe Equalaria. Equalaria is fine, I guess. Let's take a look at the team that I'm going up against. By the way, I swapped, you know, Lindworm with Equalaria, so now I have Lindworm on my team. But we're going up against this, the Dew, an attacker, Panikin, and then of course a 140 Cryo Crawler. So I take in the first turn. What I can do is quickly use something like this, get rid of the Megataunt. Alright, and I'll just go with my AoE skill here. Nothing too big, you know, nothing too bad. Mounting Assault, Inspiration. So look, when the Dew uses his skill, especially the one that removes positive, then gives him an extra turn, which is that one right there, that went towards Influxer because of the taunt. Normally you wouldn't do that. He could just go ahead and, you know, remove positive or remove anything from any of the monsters that they want, but since it's Influxer, and you know, Influxer has taunt at rank 3, his skill went directly towards that monster. So Influxer is, you know, he basically just took that, and now his taunt is gone, unfortunately, but it's fine because he's protecting everybody else on the team. So alright, let's see how this goes. We could go ahead and continue attacking here. Unrelenting Assault. I'll go ahead and charge up. You're probably going to charge up as well. Oh wait, never mind. You're running Ingevar's banner, I see. Whoops. Okay, I'm glad you didn't do it for Sensei, but I think Sensei is going to destroy me here. Yeah, okay, yeah, that's what I thought. I'm gonna have to leave this one. So I don't know, guys. You guys can let me know in the comments down below and correct me if I'm wrong, but this monster, I don't think he'll make it in the competitive scene. Like, I don't think he's gonna be used in the top 100 or something like that. But anyways, we're gonna go ahead and fight here. Times Courage. I'll do Age Overseer. Also, here's the thing. If you're gonna run it with Wingsu, which is a great monster to run it with, Pierce attackers like Rusalka, you know, Vanos 2099, Dratus, Super Fox, and you just name it, the rest of them, right? They're gonna ignore the dodge area and the taunt. So unfortunately, Pierce is gonna be a bad thing. So you gotta watch out from that, okay? But if they don't have Pierce, you're completely fine. You can run it with Wingsu or any other dodge area monsters, and you'll be fine. You can even run it with with the attacker that's in the Legends Pass right now, Lady Meow. You can go ahead and run it with her because she has dodge area, and altogether it's a pretty good team. So you can run Lady Meow instead of Wingsu, and that works too. Okay, I should be... Okay, there we go. That gave me an extra turn. I have 3 extra turns, look at that. So I'll do that, Cane Sword, and then I'm going to charge up for one of the turns, and then attack again. So if your monster can eliminate the other one, especially the Pierce attacker that's in the enemy's team, make sure to do it as soon as possible because that Pierce will be dangerous against Influxer. So gotta watch out from that. You guys just saw it, right? Leonworm tried using Age Overseer. It didn't affect the monster, Influxer, because of that immune to control trait that you have right away at rank 0. So right now I have Curse, that countdown. Yeah, I can't do anything against that, unfortunately. But here's the thing. This monster, if you're gonna run a lightning rod, which cleanses everything, that's actually pretty good skill. Why does it say armor -1 turns? What the heck? That's probably a bug. But yeah, right now I have Curse and I have that countdown, so I can use, for example, lightning rod and cleanse that, and also regain my taunt. So make sure to run that skill if you'd like to. It comes in handy. Okay, even if you have it to rank 3, make sure to run it. Okay. How's this gonna go? Revert events. King of Atlantis. I'm gonna have to revert events on myself. There we go. I'll charge up here. I just wish that cleanse skill was to all allies, not just himself. But I guess it is fine. You know, it is what it is. You guys just have to deal with it. Do I recommend, you know, spending Looms ranking this monster up? No, I do not. But if you do get it, you can go ahead and start using it. I mean, if it's one of your first few, it'll help you out, okay? It's not going to be that bad. The monster isn't really that bad. Alright, I'm going to get him to level 150 and take a look at it. This is his stat. Overall, this is what you get at 150 rank 5. And I am going to swap, you know, my water attacker, which was forgot his name, but I'm gonna be running Lady Meow instead of him because Lady Meow has dodge area as a trait, and the other water attacker that I was using, he just has it at rank 3, and it's really not a trait, it's a status caster, and I'm talking about Wingsu. Alright, so let's see how this goes. We're gonna run the same exact team as just said. It won't be Wingsu, it'll be Lady Meow on my team. Okay, so we're going up against this player's base. Apparently there's a 2, there's a Sensei Panikin, and then there is also Oli. Let's see how this goes. So I take in the first turn. I'll just go ahead and use this. Is that a rank 3? I'm pretty sure it's a rank 3. Maybe it could be a rank 4. I doubt it though. Okay, so you saw that thing, the trait disable. Well, he should have went with the remove positive skill instead. You know, in the beginning. But apparently he didn't. I don't know, maybe that was just... I've never seen that, to be honest. Like the AI normally they go with the remove positive skill first, you know, if they're using the do, and then they go with the other one. But that AI was different. I don't know. He just went with the trait disable right away. Like, why go with that? I don't get it. Anyways, let's just hope we find a better opponent. Okay, a CDA base. Okay, CDA base. So I take in the first turn. I'll go ahead and use Age Overseer right away, just like that. So unfortunately, that right there, the removing positive in the beginning and then trait disabling with that monster, unfortunately doesn't really work that well. Okay, because that taunt, it's not a mega taunt, it's just a taunt itself, so it doesn't really help. I mean, even if it was a mega taunt, it'll still be the same thing. So unfortunately, against bases like this, it'll be a bit difficult. But if you're going to be running Lady Meow on your team, you know, the attacker with dodge area, then you have a chance, I'd say. I'd say you have a slightly chance. Okay. Shares his amulets. Let's see how this goes. You hit me with the curse. I'll go on and speed this up. I'm gonna have to charge up again. Influxer. Yeah, unfortunately, Influxer's skills, I think it takes about 2 or 3 turns in order for him to regain his skills if he gets hit with CDA. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to revert event, so then next turn I could apply my taunt again. I could go ahead and use something like this. I know I don't have the correct skills on my attacker, but it's okay. It is fine. Means to torture. Ouch. You're going to come back. I got hit with CDA again. So yeah, unfortunately against CDA, he can't really do much unless you're running that 0 cooldown skill, and that's just a skill that barely deals any damage. It's just a moderate damage skill, you know what I mean? And I doubt anyone will use it, but if you are going to run it, then I guess you'll be fine against CDA monsters, basically like those. But once again, you can't really do too much damage since this monster, you're going to be running it with like life runes and team speeds and stuff like that, so you won't be able to deal too much damage or just affect the monster. Okay. Rocket. Okay, that was interesting. That skill. I thought he was gonna go with his Mega Taunt. So if I wanted to get rid of that stamina leak, I could just go ahead and use Lightning Rod. I could go with this, or Immunity Control, or I could stun. I could stun this monster, so I'm gonna go with the stun. As you guys can see, Bombetta is hit with the stun now. And here, I'm going to showcase that skill again, the lightning rod one, because it comes in handy. So his taunt ran out, but I do have the skill that will give his taunt back, and also it will cleanse that cursed and stamina leak. So as you guys can see, I went ahead and cleansed it, and also what's it called? It gave him his taunt. I'm gonna have to charge up here, so, or just go with the damage boost. Moonstruck. Charge up here. I could go with my AoE daze. That fully eliminated that Bombetta. Holy cow. This monster's damage output is just crazy. I could go with the greater times curse, or I could just revert event on my monster. So then he could regain his taunts and use Lightning Rod again next turn. If I do something, you're just going to reflect it back, so no thank you. Charge up again. And then I'm going to do Lightning Rod, cleanse that stamina leak, and also gain the taunt. And you guys saw Hacksmith used his single target skill, and that went directly towards my Influxer. And these other two monsters didn't get hit by it. Even, like, especially Lindworm was pretty close to dying, although he did die from the tortures. But I'm just saying, like, what if he wanted to damage Lindworm? He'd have to damage Influxer first in order to get through, and you know, then damage Lindworm after. I'll go with this. That was a lot of damage. I think it removed like 20% of his life, maybe 30. I don't know. It did like 30k damage, I think. I'm gonna go ahead and go with this. Turn you into a baby. Bad Moon Rising. You hit me with the corruption. Unfortunately, when his stamina is weak up to 42, and you're running the skills like I am, the ones that I'm running, you won't be able to do anything. You won't be able to use any of your skills. Let me eliminate you. And then Influxer there. Influxer, here's the thing. This is actually not bad. This duel right here, now that it's just the two of them, I can go ahead and remove all negatives and apply taunt. So now I could continue attacking you. Master Meshal, look at the turns on top. Holy cow. And you get your ultimate. But the ultimate doesn't do anything. I don't think you'll be able to damage me as much. This will be useless unless you're running like a single target skill or something. I'll hit you with that. Yeah, see, he can't damage me at all. So I could basically end up winning this if I wanted to. He can't damage me at all. So yeah, I'm gonna go on and leave this battle. But once again, guys, I don't know if I'll be seeing this monster or anyone well in the competitive scene, but it'll be interesting if someone could come up with a strategy to, you know, use them in the top 100 or at least. But anyways, guys, it's going to be pretty much it for today's monster review on the monster Influxer. Once again, huge thanks to Social Point for giving me the monster cells, everything that was needed to review this mythic. So yeah, thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.